So my name is Amy Greer. I'm in the Department of Population Medicine, and I'm presenting on behalf of myself and my colleagues, Dr. Kelsey Spence and Terry O'Sullivan. Kelsey's not here tonight, but also on behalf of two graduate students who are working on equine biosecurity related projects. So both Gabrielle and Juliette have done work related to equine biosecurity in very different populations. So Gabrielle has done some qualitative work where she has been interviewing individuals who are involved in equine event organizing. So people who are organizing shows and events across Ontario. And three of the main things that have come up in this work have been primarily around vaccination. And we see this as a theme across both of these studies, which is that event organizers really view vaccination as their primary method of biosecurity in a show sort of setting. And really interestingly and wonderfully, the event organizers, when asked about where they get trusted information about biosecurity, almost always identify their vet as the most trusted resource by those organizers regarding the most up-to-date biosecurity information and recommendations. We do see coming out of the event organizer group a lot of discussion and interest in more tailored or personalized biosecurity recommendations for their individual situations. Now, Juliette's been working on interviewing equine owners, so a different sort of population, and Juliette has found also similar themes related to vaccination, where horse owners are very reliant on vaccination and perceive them as kind of this bulletproof intervention, while not consistently or kind of properly using or considering other types of biosecurity measures. So really being willing to hang their hat on the vaccination alone. Juliette has also found that horse owners are not really distinguishing their experience with the COVID-19 pandemic as really applicable to horse care or biosecurity, which is really kind of an interesting finding, given how much information the general public has had around kind of infection prevention and control in the human setting. Interestingly, the other thing that's come up in Juliette's work is the idea of individuals seeing that going beyond the social norm of basic levels of biosecurity, people are a little bit worried about kind of the peer perception, and that they don't want to be labeled as overly cautious. And so these are kind of themes that are being pulled out of these different studies that are just wrapping up, but they lead to kind of the next step of our work. The second study that we are currently recruiting for is that we are actually recruiting horse farms, so facilities themselves, to engage in a simulated outbreak scenario where we are looking at the impact of biosecurity measures and a very specific biosecurity quarantine intervention. And the really neat thing about this is that Gabrielle is using something called GlowGerm, which is a product that's been used in human healthcare and infection prevention and control studies, where we essentially can mock infect or sham infect a location in the barn, and we can use UV light to actually track where that goes throughout the facility over time. Are there high-risk areas that we should prioritize? What sorts of things are happening at the facility level? And what sorts of barriers or opportunities are there to help refine some of the recommendations we provide people related to quarantine and isolation of horses? And so this is a kind of field study with a simulated outbreak scenario. We are looking for farms to participate. Gabrielle's already done a few farms. We have a few more lined up, but are always looking for more. And so you can talk to Gabrielle if you have clients or have individuals who might be interested or might be willing to share the information with your clients going forward. So I will leave it there.